Hi everyone, welcome back. It is Mixed Media Friday, and my final tutorial for 2021. Or sorry, 2021. Sorry guys, I'm losing it. 2021. Just logging into my phone. The other phone. So I can load my comments. And I can load our video. My phone didn't update, so here we go. Perfect. There we go. We're perfectly in frame. So I wanted to mention too, guys. Oh, hi, Teresa. Thanks for joining, love. I wanted to mention this is not a Tim Holtz vignette box. These are Tim Holtz configuration boxes. So that's my bad, because I mentioned that it was a vignette box, but it's not. The vignette boxes are more like a thin wood box. This is more like a thick, almost cardboard kind of box. The backs of them are, they do feel, maybe they are wood at the back, but this part here is all cardboard. And it comes with the tiny little boxes all tucked inside of it. So, this is what makes it the configurations box. The fact that it has all these tiny little boxes that all sit and snug tight inside. So anyways, I've pulled them all out. We're just going to use this portion of the box. And I've gone ahead and last week we completely gessoed it. Well, I had it covered in the Tim Holtz Idea-ology Advantis cardstock. And this is from his Lost and Found stack. And so what I've done is I've gessoed the whole entire thing. And I did a light gesso on the back so I can still see the cardstock. And I've taken the Prima the texture paste Crackle in the platinum and covered the whole box. And I did it like a generous coat. So as you guys can see, when you put it on thicker, it creates like a texture. And where you put it on thicker, you're going to get bigger cracks. And where you put it on thinner, you're going to get small cracks. So I'm really impressed with the amount of cracks that I got, like the crackling. It has a really good effect. So it's just a matter of keeping your surface thicker for the more crackled effect. But what I was going for is something that kind of looks like snow. So that's why I've done this like textury kind of if you guys can see that. So I've done this textury kind of surface on it so that it kind of gives me the effect of snow. So on the inside, what I want to do, I'm going to take one of my digital pages from Laurie's Christmas Wish, my digital kit that I have. This kit's available on Etsy if you're interested. I'm going to take a page of it, and I'm going to go ahead, and I'm just going to kind of do one of these. So I can kind of see approximately where my lines are going to be for cutting this. Because I'm going to have to take some off anyways for the inside of the box. I'll have to take off that 1/4 of an inch, as I mentioned, on each side. So it'll fit in there. So that's basically given me my first guideline of my lines of where they need to be. And then I can just take off a 1/4 of an inch and I can cut this down to size. And it's going to be perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that. I'm just going to use my scissors for now to cut this out. And I'm going to line it up on my glass media mat because my ruler is, I don't know. My ruler is probably back up on that spinning thing, and then I have to get up to get it. So it's okay. We're just going to do this roughly like this. And as I mentioned, this is just going to give me like a rough dimension of what we're doing. So we're almost perfect here anyways. Yep. And then my other line's right here. perfect. And then we can kind of determine how much we need to take off. So again, I usually measure this, but tonight I'm just going to eyeball it. Here we go. So again, it'll be perfect right along here. And this is another way to do it, guys. If I'm just using paper and I'm not using cardstock, I can do one of these too, where I'm putting it on the inside, and then I can line it up perfectly with two sides, and I can do one of these and crease it, and then I know exactly where my corners are. So this is another little hack too. So see, I didn't even have to measure that. That shows me exactly where I need to cut it. I didn't use cardstock for this one. I just used a little Christmas page out of my kit. And yet, this is my last video, guys, for the year, for 2021. And then I will be back in January. And we're going to start, I'm going to start my mermaid journal. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm going to have a new kit launching. And then after the mermaid journal, I want to start an art journal. And then every Friday, we're going to be doing mixed media techniques and different things. I'm going to teach you guys how to do some painting and to do some drawing and all kinds of different techniques and things, from collaging to watercolor painting. So on Fridays, we're going to start doing that, and I can then go over some more basics of mixed media and some beginner stuff, and then we can start doing full-on art journal pages every Friday. So I think that's going to be super fun, and it's going to get me back painting again. So that's something I'm going to start doing. So as you guys can see now, that's perfect. So see, just a matter of eyeballing it. And then I can, well, now we're stuck. I can pull that out. And it doesn't matter. I'm just going to use some of my, there it is, my art glitter glue. There we go. And I'm just going to put like a generous amount on the inside, right to the corner here. Sorry for the awful noise, guys. I'm just kind of, there we go. And that's all you need. And that's just cardboard. So that works. And I want to make sure I have it the right side up. Yeah. I'm going to slip that right in there. There we go. And then, there we go. I can use a bone folder. I have a palette knife here. That might get into the corners a little better. See, I didn't quite push that all the way down. There we go. There, and just give it like a little once over. My brayer's around here somewhere. It's always when you're needing to use something, it disappears. That never fails. Oh, this one. Here we go. I have 4 containers on my desk. There we go. I just want to make sure I have a really good stick. Oh. Hi, Laurie. Thanks for joining, love. There we go. And I've got my little digital in the background. Right like that. Make sure I'm back in frame and focus. I could pull this up a little bit probably. There we go. Slide it up. I have this awful tendency of pulling everything towards me. Hopefully that's a little better. So I went to my dollar store and I was a little disappointed, guys. I went there looking for all kinds of, like, you know, the village stuff. I was hoping for this cute little lamppost, and I was looking for these little Christmas trees, and I was looking for all these cute little things to put in my box, and unfortunately, they didn't have anything left. So I improvised, guys. We're crafters. So I had a bunch, like, I have a whole bin of, like, wreath making stuff. So that's what I did, guys. I just pulled out some of the stuff that I'm going to use for making a wreath. And so this is kind of almost like Christmas tree material here. So this is like, you know, a piece to, like, maybe a Christmas tree or something. It was on, like, one of those things like that, you know, like the stem things like this that you get, you know, at your dollar store, Michael's, or your craft store. And it had, like, this kind of stuff on it, right? And same with, and then there's one that's a little darker. So I literally, guys, I just cut it down so that it would, you know, fit into my box in the corner. And I just wrapped them together, and then I took a piece of twine, because Tammy actually mentioned about using a piece of cork. And that would have been a great idea to have this sitting in a piece of cork. But unfortunately, I don't have one, or I can't locate one immediately. So I just took a piece of twine and I wrapped it. And then I see it's coming off at the bottom. But that's okay, because I'm going to Fabri-Tac that right into there. So what I want to do is make it kind of flat on one side. So it's going to sit flat in my box. But then I want it where, like, my branches are all kind of, you know, like, kind of, I guess, coming forward, right? Yeah, kind of like that. So it kind of looks like a Christmas tree. So I'm not, so it can be more full at the front, just not at the back. So even that can, like, be bent more that way. There we go. So it's going to kind of sit like this. So it's kind of like my little makeshift tree that I made. Yeah, I know Facebook hasn't been giving me notifications for things either. Sorry, guys. I mean, they keep doing updates, and then we keep losing our group files, and who knows what else. And yeah, it's like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Leave things alone. And I have this bag here. This is kind of where I keep, like, all my garlands and my Christmassy kind of stuff. So we'll open it and see what we have. Here's a little piece here of gold. That'll be good, because I don't want to use too much, I don't think. And then maybe some smaller red. Let's see if we can find the end of this. Ah. That'll be good. So I don't have a lot of Tim Holtz Idea-ology, so I'm just kind of doing my own thing. So that's kind of, you know, as crafters, what we do. I have the box, but I'm going to improvise on the stuff I put in the box. I was just really sad that I couldn't get, like, a little Christmas tree and a lamp post. But I'm taking this in another direction tonight, so it'll be super fun. And this will be a cute little piece I can go put up on my fireplace mantle if I had one. I have a pellet stove, so. But, oh, I forgot to. That didn't connect, did it? No, it did not. But I cut it. Okay, well, I don't need it that long. More like, probably that is probably going to be good. I'd say about 18. There, so I can wrap it around the tree. That's probably good. And I'm just going to use Fabri-Tac. There we go. So now we can take our little tree and we can kind of come in and we can wrap our Christmas stuff kind of around our tree, so it kind of looks like Christmassy dangles. And then I can tuck it up here in the middle like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. That's also the back, so I can probably, yeah, have it hanging from this one. That's probably better. Here we go. Just like that. But have it more, yeah, like that. Where it looks like it's wrapped around and it's kind of dangling. There we go. So there's one. And this one can go kind of to the front. I'm going to Fabri-Tac this one though. That'll sit on there. That's okay. That's smaller. But this one I'm going to Fabri-Tac. So I have it right here. Yeah, that's our front. That's our flat back there. I'm at the bottom of my Fabri-Tac. There we go. So I want to do something kind of in the middle, because this is going to be kind of where it dangles. So right like that, hold it there, and then it's going to come up. And then it can go around my tree, kind of something like this. I'm not really great at this, guys. I'm just kind of putting it on there so we kind of get the idea that, yep, we're a Christmas tree. There we go. And then the other side, I'm going to Fabri-Tac that down so it doesn't fall down. Yeah, and I can just, you're not going to see it. I can tuck it in behind over here. Fabri-Tac. Yeah, that little end right here. And just right in the tree. There we go. So now it's not going anywhere. So that kind of gives it the illusion that our tree is decorated, right? And then the next thing that I want to do, so before we actually put our tree in, I want to figure this next piece out because I want to make a fireplace. So this here is Tim Holtz Idea-ology. It's one of his base frames. So what I want to do is I want to cut this down to make this look like a fireplace mantle. I don't want to go right to the edge, but I want to go almost to the edge. And I'm thinking to go maybe, because I can't do the whole entire thing, I'm thinking maybe to cut it like right along here. Maybe like the halfway point to the tree. So probably I want to cut that, I would say right about here. And I'm going to cut the other side. And I'm going to try to line that up. So I'm even. So be right about here. There we go. That looks about right. There we go. So that's going to be perfect there inside my box. But what I want to do is I want to make it sit dimensionally. So I have some foam here. And I'm just going to attach this to a few pieces of foam. And I want black for right behind here, because the black is going to give me the illusion that this is a fireplace. And I don't want the actual paper showing in front of it. So I'm going to Fabri-Tac this to the foam. Sorry guys, I'm not in frame. This one here is a random piece that came with like one of those, you know, like kids foam kits kind of thing. My kids love doing stuff like this. So that's a leftover piece from that. I think it was butterflies or something. And I'm going to line that up. Yep, right about there. Okay, so that's my first piece of foam. So this is going to give me some dimension. And then I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim it up. So now I have my fireplace and I have the back base. So this is going to show black when I put it in here, like a fireplace. It's not going to show all these other colors that I'm doing. In fact, I'm not worried about using white ones because I can use this for something else because they're more neutral. I'll use a couple of green ones and 2 more probably, I would think, will do it. Yeah, that gives me some good dimension off of there. Okay, so we'll do that. So again, I'm just coming to the back and I'm going to Fabri-Tac it. Here we go. And I'm adding another piece of foam. Right like this. Hi Lisa, thanks for joining. Here we go. And I'm going to add one more so I get nice dimension. And then I can Fabri-Tac it into our box. And I have all kinds of random stuff on my desk for wreath making and all kinds of things. So we'll see what we have here, and then we can add some little details in once we get our fireplace and our trim in. And then I want to add some more mixed media to the end. Okay. 1 and 2. Perfect. Right like that. And this is going to sit right there, three-dimensionally in our box. But what I want to do first, because that is green, I'm going to paint it black. So I'm just going to quickly grab the lid to my Fabri-Tac. Which I have now lost. That's okay. I'll just set it there. And I need to grab my, whoops, my black paint. And I'm just grabbing the normal acrylic craft paint that I get in my dollar store. There we go. Sorry, guys. And that. And I can make this now. We're done with this. There's my lid. Perfect. Fix my Fabri-Tac. There we go. And I'll move my scissors. Perfect. There we go. You guys can see what I'm doing now. And I'm going to take a paintbrush, and it really doesn't matter which one. And I have a little bit of black here. And I just want to come in. And this will be dry pretty much immediately. I'm just looking to cover the green and the little wood at the top of this. There we go. So it blends right in with our fireplace. There we go. And I don't have to do 4 sides. I just want to do 3 sides because this is going to sit dimensionally into our box. So I just want to make sure we're not seeing that green or that wood edge like that. There we go. I'm getting so excited for Christmas. Tomorrow I'm going to start wrapping our presents for our kids. It's going to be so fun. Not worried about that. I just don't want to get the wet paint everywhere. Just literally takes a minute. And that doesn't matter. I'll just grab a paper towel. I didn't see it. Thanks T. It was hiding. There we go. There we go. Got a little bit on my desk. Oh. There we go. Just lost our video 1 sec. There we go. There. Perfect. I don't think I need to. I'm just going to dab it to make sure that we're dry. Just so I don't get black paint everywhere when I go to put it in the box. It usually dries relatively fast. It's acrylic paint, right? And if it's just a little tacky, it's fine. There we go. And then what I want to do is just come in, Fabri-Tac the back, and position it exactly where I want it. And the foam is just to give it dimension. You could have layered it with cardstock. I just got quick dimension by using the crafting foam. And it's something extra in here that I had. So I keep like the leftover pieces. I think it's great too, like if I'm doing a mixed media piece, I will do a piece of foam sometimes between my actual mixed media piece and then the thing that I matted on, just to create that depth and dimension. Okay, so now I don't want to put this directly to that side, but I could put it right about here. That's like perfect and exactly what I'm going for. So again, it's not right to the background, it stands out three-dimensionally. I could take a popsicle stick, guys, and I could create a mantle for the top of it. So if I did a popsicle stick going this way, I could actually stick little things on top of there. So if I was able to get like, you know, like little Idea-ology stuff or stuff from my dollar store, then I could have done that. But for tonight's video, I'm not worried about it. I just want to, just for the sake of showing this to you guys. So here's our little tree that we made. And now I'm going to get it in here. So I have a spot here where it's come a little loose, because I just wrapped it. I didn't really reinforce it too well at the bottom. So I'll do that now. There we go. I'm just reinforcing that. There we go. Okay. Perfect. And then I'm going to fabric-tack the whole bottom like this and like that. And I want to make sure that I get this side that's going to be flat like this. That's going to be my whole flat side. I want to glue this all this way because I want this right to the edge of the box on the inside, pretty well to the back. Here we go. And I could do one of these too, just along here. Okay, there we go. And we're going to very carefully position our tree into the box. So I'm just going to kind of do one of these until we get it right. Here we go. Oh. I'm going to have to hold that there. And that's got to come out a little bit more, like right here. Okay. And that's fine. This comes forward over our little decorated tree. And just until it sticks. And more straight. And there we go. I could put little presents under here. And there's all kinds of stuff that you can do. And I want to make sure that my tree is not, yeah, see, my tree's moving. Okay, back to the drawing board. All right, we're sort of stuck, but not a good stick. So I'm going to add just that little bit of fabric tack right here to the back of the box, and that's where my tree's gonna sit. I'm just gonna, there we go. I need to get that to stick, so I don't go to do the mixed media and have the whole thing come out. There we go. Hi, Laurie, thanks for joining. And now we're not straight. Ah, crooked tree, crooked box. Come on. There we go. That's okay. Embrace imperfection. There, that's better. And how cute is that? I could put little presents here. We could make a mantle there. You put little stuff up. Super cute. So now over here, I want to come in with, we could do mixed media, and we could do Aline Snow, But what I'm thinking, I have Tim Holtz, stencil here in snowflakes, and it's THS050, so number 50. And maybe we will do some, because I can add any pigment to this. Let's try using Oxide for start. I have Mermaid Lagoon, or we could do a darker blue. Let's see here. For blue snowflakes. I think that'd be cute. You know what? I will let you guys pick the stencil. And the other one that I have here is his festive one. THS029. I will let you guys pick what stencil we're going to use. And then I can literally put either like little garland stuff all the way around it in mixed media, or we can do snowflakes. So let me know, guys, garland or snowflakes. What would you like me to use? Garland. Okay, perfect. And then we can use some greens, like I would use, sorry guys, I have to reach, evergreen bow. And I would use pine needles. There it is. Yeah, pine needles. Sorry guys, I just bumped it again. It's my chair. I'm going to be rethinking my my setup in the new year. And then red's over here. Candied apple is my burned or sorry, is my go-to for like red berries. I find the other ones more pink when they oxidize. Okay, and then I just need a blending tool right here in front of me. I'll move these to the side for right now. Here we go. And then we can I'm just trying to see what I've done with the... Sorry guys, my desk's a bit of a mess. My little ink blenders, I don't see them. That's okay. There we go. I was doing some stenciling with them, and it's right here. So perfect. This is another great way to use your inks and your oxides. I like to swoosh them on my desk, and then I can use them. And I'm using, as you can see, I'm using flat, square paintbrushes. So I get like a stipple, it's a stippling effect that you get when you pounce into it and then you do it through the stencil, and I'll show you that right now. And it's another great way to use your stencils, especially if you want fine detail. I find with the blending tools, a lot of the time, it's hard to get a lot of the detail that you're going for when, we'll sort of side right here, when you're using that thick brush. And so what I would do, guys, is just literally, so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing, I'm just going to give that a really firm grip as I'm going through and doing my stenciling. So of course this here, and you guys will see how well this here takes the pigment too. And this is just like a stippling effect. Right like that. Okay. So I want to do all the green first. And I'm not adding anything to my oxide. I'm going right into the oxide with a dry brush. So there's no water. Just to let you guys know. Here we go. And then I can come in and do this one. So we're going to see how the Prima Crackle paste, how well it takes pigment. Once it's dry, here we go. And the other brush is here. And I can come in and do my berries. A little bit of burn door. There we go. Right like that. And it's a great way to get more of like a precise effect. There we go. Right like that. I'm going to lift it. Oh, that's beautiful. If you guys can see that. And that's right over top of my texture paste. That turned out really good. I'm really happy with that. So again, the same thing, and I can just continue my pattern, and I can start right here. And then I can do the same thing where I'm holding it down to about here, and I'm going to come in and do the grain first. So right here, right along here, and I'm just doing that. I want to move my, there we go. Right here, and right here. And I'm going to do this all the way around my box. So this is kind of fun too. So you don't have to like cover the whole thing in one solid color. I was thinking to add snow. But then if I add Aline's snow, just being the only thing over it, then you're not really going to see anything else. And it's just going to have the snowed effect. And lots of people have been demoing that, I find. So I wanted to do something a little different. And this is turning out great. And I like the effect over top of, because it's silver, guys. That Crackle texture paste dries silver. So this is turning out really pretty. Oh, and I have little berries in the corner right here, if you guys can see. There we go. Beautiful. So that has turned out really good. And I can let that completely dry on there. And actually, if I want to seal it, the best way to do that, guys, is just to grab your heat tool and to heat set it. And that's all you have to do with Oxide. I just need to plug this in. It's going to get loud for a second, guys. And now it's set. And I can turn it over this way. And I'm going to do that on both sides. I haven't really decided what we're going to do on the top yet. And I'll turn it to this side very carefully. Here we go, and I can just do one continued pattern this way. So you can use it in pieces, or you can just do the whole thing. And here we are. So we'll start out at this side. And you can mix your colors together. Your evergreen bow and your pine needles for like a light and a highlight and a dark light kind of thing. Sorry for a highlight and shadow. There we go. then this one here. And then we leaves over here. So I'm just going to move my fingers up this way. There we go. And it's just like a little stippling effect like that, where I'm pouncing. And it'll get right in your stencil, and you won't get bleed through. And yeah, that's the other thing too, why I like to go in with dry oxide opposed to wet oxide. Because with wet oxide, you get more of like a, more of a bleed through, I guess you could say, I find. There we go, and I just want to get the little corner of these two. There we go, right through there. And then I can switch it up to the red again, to my barn door. There we go, over here, here, and over here. And over here. There we go. And I need a little bit of green, because I forgot that little spot. There we go. Perfect. And there we have it. And I'm going to do the same thing. Just come with my heat tool. This will get loud, sorry guys. There. And just like that. So this is this side, and that is that side. That turned out really cute. And again, I can put Aline's glitter snow in the bottom. I can put it all the way around the sides. And the great thing too, guys, or I could go around and I could just, if I wanted to, and I just wanted a little bit of color, you can just hit it with some of your oxide. So if you can see that, it's taking the color wonderfully because I've used that texture paste. So I'm really happy with that. I probably will just use the Aline's glitter snow. So what I'll do, guys, I will finish this up off camera and then I will post it to group because I'm sure it's almost time. I've got almost 11:30 now. And I was a few minutes late. Yeah, I really like how that turned out. You know, maybe, it's up to you guys. I can call it a night or I can keep going. I'm going to add some Aline's glitter snow to the bottom of that. And I want to do something on top. I'm just not sure what yet. We could add, let me see here. I have all kinds of these little things. I have a little poinsettia. Oh, that's beautiful. That we can add to the bottom corner, kind of like that. Yeah, let's do that. I like that. And I want to pull this one off. Here we go. And I can cut this one down. And then I can add some Fabri-Tac. These are all very old flowers. and old things. There we go. And I can just kind of push that into the middle here. Just to give that a little something. That's kind of cute. I don't think I have any little presents. And I've got a little Christmas bow. That might be too much because I added the flower. Yeah, that's too much. I'll have to figure something out. But yeah, I really like that. But what I'm gonna do too is like, I'll show you guys. I have to get up, sorry. I want to grab my building wax in gold. Yeah, tingled. Yeah, that works. Because they are quite old. And as you can see, some of the colors kind of coming off of that. So I literally just, I can come right into this, and it's just plastic. So that will completely cover it. There we go. I'm going to be better off using a brush. I usually do this just by hand. But as you guys will see, a very little of this goes a very long way. There we go. I want to cover all that pink. There we go. And the same thing, and I can just kind of touch up my leaves. Kind of. There we go. Just to give it a fresh little look, because they have been in here a very long time and the gold's kind of faded. There we go. So see if guys, I'm just doing like a little motion in the way that the actual leaves are going. And they're kind of embossed. So that kind of gives me that little sense of direction that they're going. Here we go, and I can do the same over here. Just to give them that little something. And that needs to be, yeah, there we go. This is Pebeo gilding wax. This is one of my favorite I should say this is my favorite product for adding any kind of polish to something. I use it on die cuts. You can use it like, I'll show you guys. Actually, let's do that. That's gonna pop if I just, it's just gorgeous. And I can use my finger, or I can use my my brush. It goes on buttery smooth, and it just looks incredible. And I can give that some gold, and I can do the same thing to my tree. It sticks to everything, guys. It sticks to plastic. It sticks to metal. It sticks to, there we go. I'm giving the tree some like effects. I can do the same thing here, guys, where I'm touching the tree right here and giving my little base just kind of like almost like a flower pot kind of feel. That might look better. Give that like a flower pot kind of feel. The gold. There we go. I just had to touch it. There. Goes a very long way. You can add it to metal, paper, I'm sure glass. This is like an oil-based permanent product. It does kind of smell it doesn't stink, but it has a strong smell when you open it. Not enough to give you a headache or anything. It's not like Fabri-Tac or your alcohol markers or something. But it's a great product, and I find it's the best. And guys, I've had these for years. I have 3 new colors. This is one of them from this year. But my copper, I have, I think, 5 or 6 of them total now. 6? Because there's all different gold colors. There's platinum and silver. The only one I don't have is silver. But I have all the golds and I have the platinum. And it's an amazing product. And use very, very little. And it goes a very long way. As you guys can see, I'm just touching this. And it's going a very, very long way. And then if I find it's too thick somewhere, I can take my finger and just kind of smooth it out a bit. I really like that with the gold. It's like making it pop. There we go. Just gives it that little something. And I'm really impressed with how with all the results of the Prima Crackle texture paste. I'm really impressed with it, guys. I've used the Tim Holtz one, and I can't get it to give me big crackles. It looks like water droplets. It's very small. I did a comparison in the last video. But no, I'm really, really impressed with it. And his regular texture paste has a lot of shrinkage. And that's the other thing I found with the regular texture paste. Whereas I use, for texture paste, I use the Liquitex. I use the Liquitex light modeling paste, and I don't get any shrinkage at all. So when it dries the same way that you put it on. Whereas the Tim Holtz texture paste has shrinkage. There, I'm really happy with that, guys. So I do have to let that dry. But how cute is that? And I got a little bit of splatters on here when I did the like the flicking motion of getting it on the outside of the box. But it's just going to give it added character. And I can do the same thing to the sides and do like a flicking motion and put the gold in there. And that's the other thing too. When I do a mixed media piece, a lot of the time, I'll do like speckles of white and different things. And I highlighted the tree. So if you guys can see that, I've also highlighted the tree in the gilding wax. So I'm really happy with that. It's cute. And it'll look really cute on your mantle, your fireplace, or something like that. I got a little string hanging. There we go. So I'm really happy with that, and the sides all turned out cute. And I'll do something on top. I'm just not sure what yet. I might put like something 3-dimensional, or again, I've got these little boxes. We could do something super fun. I'm not sure what yet, but we can figure it out. There we go. 1, 2, and 3. Something like that. Yeah, we'll do something. Alright guys, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much, guys, for everything this year. It's been fabulous. And I'm really, really excited for 2022 and all the things that we're going to be doing. And as I mentioned, we're going to start an art journal and my mermaid journal after Christmas. So I'm really, really excited for that, guys. Oh, here's another one all on gold. Maybe I'll do something and maybe I'll put it up higher. Yeah, something like that. We'll figure it out. Yeah, I'm really excited for 2022 and all the fun things that we're doing and all the swaps and everything that we have going on. So thank you guys so much. Everyone, have a Merry Christmas. I will be back on Monday. I think it's Monday. Let me just double check that. Calendar. I will be back on Tuesday. Monday is the deadline for the tag event in group. So everyone was to take the 5 tag files that I posted underneath the file section and create some tags and post them to group under hashtag Christmas tags. Anyone who posts any tags that they've made with my digitals, then your name is going to go into a draw, and the deadline is Monday. On Tuesday, on the 21st, I'm going to do a giveaway for, out of everybody who participated, and it's going to be for my digital kit, Laurie's Christmas Wish. And then I will be back on New Year's on December 31st, which is a Friday, and I will be back to do our giveaway for the journal that I made. The collaboration journal using my Field Notes kit and Lorna and Caroline's kits. It's beautiful. It's a six signature journal, so it's quite large. Sorry guys, my hands are covered. I don't want to grab it right now, but yeah, it's got a 2.5 inch spine, or maybe a 3 inch spine. It's very big, and I'm going to do a giveaway for that on New Year's. So everyone, good luck. Make sure your name is on the group sharing list. So the criteria to get in for that swap: you have to be a member of group for at least 3 months. You have to get on our group sharing list. You have to follow my YouTube channel, and you have to be an active member in group and have participated in at least one swap. So everybody on the sharing list will be added, meeting that criteria, will be added to our giveaway. Alright, thank you so much everyone. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you back on Tuesday. Thanks everyone. Bye.